Good morning, my name is Nur Qamarina Batrisya binti Hazli and I'm from SMK BANDAR PETANI. Today I would like to review my favorite book. The title of the book is Anne of Green Gables. Anne of Green Gables is a 1908 novel by a Canadian author, Lucy Maud Montgomery. This book contains 324 pages. This book has written for all ages. It also has been considered a classic children's novel since the mid-20th century. Set in the late 19th century, the novel recounts the adventures of Anne Shirley, an 11-year-old orphan girl who is mistakenly sent to two middle-aged siblings, Matthew and Marilla Cuthbert, who had originally intended to adopt a boy to help them on their farm in the fictional town of Avonlea in Prince Edward Island in Canada. The novel recounts how Anne makes her way through her life with the Cuthberts in school and within the town. Now, I would like to share with all of you about Anne's personality. Anne Shirley is a talkative and a happy girl. Despite living an impoverished life as an orphan, though she lacks social graces and education, she has a rich and sophisticated fantasy life and an optimistic and generous spirit. Anne always acts according to her instinct and not according to a code of manners. She unintentionally defies expectation of proper ladylike behavior, such as she attends to the church for the first time by wearing a wreath of white flowers, and also used to scream at Mrs. Rachel for making fun of her red hair. Growing up and doesn't run from making mistakes is a great way to describe Anne Shirley. So now, let's move on to the major theme of the story. It was all about imagination, education, and friendship. Imagination. Anne's imagination fuels her adventures and mishaps throughout her childhood. This allows her to thrive in many situations, though it also causes her problems. An example of how Anne uses imagination as a positive coping mechanism is that Anne created imaginary friend to talk to when she was growing up. Anne was forced to work rather than attending school or playing with other children, so this imaginary friend gave her a sense of normalcy and friendship. Anne also uses her imagination to distract herself from wallowing. Education. Education is an integral part of Anne's childhood. Anne does not receive much education until she arrived at Green Gables, but she clearly has natural interest in literature, nature, and philosophy. She studies extremely hard to try to beat Gilbert Blythe throughout her time at the Avonlea School and Queen's, and also uses her educational attainment to make Marilla and Matthew proud of her. As soon as she hears that she won university scholarship, she says to a friend, "Oh, won't Matthew and Marilla be pleased? I must write the news home right away," on page of 362, and feels that the Cuthberts were the one who enabled her to pursue her studies, so she's want to do as well as possible. Friendship. Anne Shirley's favorite phrases include bosom friend and kindred spirit. Though these terms are somewhat interchangeable for Anne, they refer to best friend and to someone who shares similar outlooks on life respectively. When Anne comes to Green Gables, she makes her first bosom friend in Diana Barry, finding that friendship can come easily to open-hearted people who are willing to be loyal to one another. From this story, I have learned a few lessons that made me change the way I see life. Number 1, accept yourself the way you are. When we first meet Anne Shirley, she has low self-esteem. She hates her red hair, her freckles, her sharp elbow. She even resorts to buying dubious beauty products to fix her appearance, but a mishap with hair dye scared her straight. From this novel, I can learn that changing your looks to fit your expectation is a lot harder than changing your expectation to fit your looks. And journeys to self-acceptance is a reminder that we can find beauty in all forms, even in outward form. Number 2, when the world disappoints you, just compensate with your imagination. And life isn't always quite what she wants it to be. Though she's grateful for her home, her friends, and her beautiful Prince Edward Island, it's hard for her to not compare her life to other person. Before I end this video, I would like to give you a little reminder that I have learned from Anne's journey. You know what? Sometimes the misfortune lead us to a beautiful destination. That's all from me. Thank you. Have a nice day.